Do you guys want to talk about the Brie versus Nikki segment?
Dude, you've been holding me back from the womb. What the fuck? Seriously, I mean, are we looking for the worst acting of all time? That was terrible. That was purely just terrible, terrible, terrible. It's terrible. That sounds like Charles Barkley. Terrible. Uh, I just... My brain hurts from that segment. I don't know if anybody else just feels violated by having to watch that. It's terrible.
Obviously, the execution was lacking.
No.
Personally, I'm trying. I am trying not to shit all over this. Personally, I'm not terribly offended by this, just because I'm looking at this. I've got different expectations for Bella acting and regular acting. And I like the idea of siblings feuding. I don't want to bring up the comparison to Owen and Bret Hart, because obviously they're not exactly the same realm, but it's the same general idea. It's one sibling feels like they've been in the other shadow all along, and they finally get pissed, say, enough with this shit, I'm gonna be my own person, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of my sibling. So I like the idea there, and I think the matches will be decent, if not better. It's just I hope
There's
we
nowhere
don't have,
to go but up, Nick.
I just hope we don't have another Jerry Springer segment, which, admittedly, I think the segment was salvaged when Nikki told Lawler to shut up and called him an old man. That was pretty great. Surely I'm not the only one that thinks that.
It was funny.
Yeah, I'm with you guys as far as the general segment. The general segment was bad. A majority of the segment was bad, but I will say, once they brought it back to wrestling, once they started talking about how when Brie quit, Nikki was left to compete in all of these matches, which fair enough, no one actually watched, but there were a lot of the 4-on-1 matches and stuff like that. They were trying to build that side of the story. That's what brought us to this, to the prediction that we had that it was going to become this. So, I thought how they tied that in and really tied the story together. That's when the segment got acceptable for me. And I will say, I didn't watch Raw live. I watched it at work, and when they started to get into that, and when Nikki slapped Jerry Lawler in the face, which wasn't even on TV, but you heard it. When that happened, I was into it. I was at my desk.
Because you like seeing Jerry Lawler get smacked.
No, you couldn't even see it.
I know, but you like the fact that he got smacked.
But it just the whole thing when they tied it back to wrestling and actually were not doing this, the crap sibling thing that they're doing.
Jerry Springer bullshit.
Yeah, the Jerry Springer bullshit. When they're actually tying it to wrestling, I thought it was actually very good. And it was probably one of the best segments this week in that it actually made me laugh. It entertained me. And there's not a lot in WWE right now that entertained me, but that did.
And to be entirely fair to Nikki, after her heel turn, she had a match in the past week with Emma that completely floored me. Not only did she hold her own against Emma, who we all know is an incredible wrestler, Nikki not only held her own, she dominated that match. And she brought out a lot of moves I was not expecting. There was a springboard enziguri out of a Bella. She is obviously improved as a wrestler. Maybe even past the point that Brie's at.
Maybe past the point of Cena. 6 moves?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bella's rug really brought the ring together. Or, I don't know. That's something you
Man,
said, Garvin, that I just got the dude stuck in my head. Yeah,
All
it
right.
really brought the room together.
All right, let's move on.
Yep. Thank you.